Have you ever wondered if the course of history is predetermined? Or if all events are destined to happen no matter what we do? You see, there's a concept that has intrigued philosophers and historians for centuries. This concept, known as historical determinism, suggests that the course of history is not random but rather follows a predetermined path. It's like a grand play where the script is already written and we, as mere actors, are just playing our parts. This idea is both fascinating and controversial. Some believe in it wholeheartedly, arguing that all events in history, from the rise and fall of empires to the discovery of new lands, were bound to happen. Others, however, question this deterministic view, proposing that human free will and chance play a significant role in shaping our world. So, is the course of history predetermined? Let's delve deeper into the concept of historical determinism. The concept of historical determinism isn't new. It has roots in ancient civilizations. Now let's journey back in time to understand how. A fascinating place to begin is with the Greeks and Romans. These early civilizations had a profound interpretation of historical determinism, deeply rooted in their beliefs in fate and destiny. The Greeks, for instance, saw life as a woven tapestry, each thread representing a predetermined path. This belief was reflected in their mythology, where the three fates spun, measured and cut the thread of life, symbolizing birth, lifespan and death. This concept of fate, this sense of inevitability, influenced how they viewed history. They believed that the course of events was set, much like the threads of their tapestries. Shifting westward, we find the Romans, who also held a similar belief. They worshipped Fortuna, the goddess of fortune and the personification of luck, who they believed had the power to determine the course of events. This too influenced their understanding of history, expressing the idea that the course of history is not entirely within human control. Now let's delve into philosophy. Greek philosophers, like Heraclitus, played a significant role in shaping our early understanding of determinism. Heraclitus, often known as the weeping philosopher, believed in the doctrine of flux, stating that everything is in constant change, driven by the laws of nature. This notion of a world in perpetual motion, guided by natural laws, planted early seeds of determinism. However, it's important to remember that these early civilizations didn't have a clear-cut concept of historical determinism as we understand it today. Their beliefs were more about life's inevitability, the inescapability of destiny, rather than a systematic approach to understanding history. Early civilizations had their own understanding of historical determinism, but the concept evolved over time. As we move forward in our journey, we'll see how this ancient understanding paved the way for more complex interpretations of historical determinism. So buckle up as we explore this fascinating concept further. As societies progressed, so did our understanding of historical determinism. With the dawn of the Enlightenment, a period of intellectual and philosophical development, historical determinism took on a new lens. The Enlightenment thinkers, brimming with a spirit of inquiry, began to perceive historical determinism not as a divine orchestration, but as a series of rational cause and effect events shaped by human actions and ideas. This shift was particularly evident in the works of philosophers like Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. Hegel proposed that history unfolds in a dialectical manner, a constant dance of contradictions and their resolutions, leading us towards an ultimate end: the realization of human freedom. In the midst of the Industrial Revolution, another philosopher, Karl Marx, brought a fresh perspective to historical determinism. Marx argued that history was driven by material realities, particularly the modes of production and the class struggle they engendered. According to Marx, the progression from feudalism to capitalism and eventually to socialism was a deterministic process shaped by these economic forces. But the interpretation of historical determinism was not confined to philosophy alone. The rise of sciences like sociology and anthropology in the late 19th and early 20th centuries further influenced our understanding of the concept. These disciplines, with their focus on societal structures and cultural patterns, introduced the idea that historical events could be determined by social and cultural factors as well. For instance, sociologists such as Emile Durkheim proposed that social facts, the shared beliefs and values of a society, played a deterministic role in shaping history. Anthropologists, on the other hand, emphasized the influence of cultural practices and symbols in directing historical trajectories. Thus, the modern age, with its intellectual diversity, has brought a multifaceted understanding of historical determinism. It is no longer seen as a monolithic force, but as a complex interplay of philosophical, economic, social and cultural determinants. Our understanding of historical determinism has significantly evolved over time, but the debate still continues. The question remains, is history predetermined or is it a product of our actions? This question lies at the heart of the profound debate around historical determinism. For centuries, scholars, historians and philosophers have grappled with this concept, leading to a riveting intellectual tug-of-war. On one side of the debate, we have the proponents of historical determinism. They argue that the course of history follows a predetermined path, guided by overarching forces like economics, geography or culture. They believe that these elements set the stage for the inevitable unfolding of events. For them, the march of history is like the flow of a mighty river, its course shaped by the lay of the land, not by the individual drops of water. On the other side, we find the critics of historical determinism. These individuals contend that history is not a scripted play but a work in progress. They assert that human agency, our decisions, our actions, our mistakes, plays a pivotal role in shaping history. According to them, history is not so much a river as it is a vast ocean, with each wave, each current, each ripple representing our collective and individual choices. This debate is not just a matter of academic discourse, it impacts how we perceive our past and how we envision our future. If history is predetermined, does it mean we're just actors playing out a script written by unseen forces? Or if our actions shape history, do we bear the responsibility for the world we create? The debate around historical determinism is complex, and we may never arrive at a definitive answer. But this uncertainty is what makes history so fascinating, so compelling. It's a reminder that our understanding of the past is always evolving, always in flux, shaped by our continuous exploration and interpretation. Whether you believe in historical determinism or not, it's undeniable that the concept has shaped our understanding of history and will continue to do so. But remember, no matter what, our actions today will shape the history of tomorrow.